What we have here is 1/4 ounce of yellow marzipan, 1/8 of an ounce of yellow marzipan, and a small bit, if you want to be more precise, probably about 1/4 of the size or thereabouts of the 1/8 of an ounce. So what I'm going to do first is I want to make sure that my marzipan or my rolled fondant, either one, is nice and round, and I want to put that in a cone shape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the marzipan tool and I'm going to put some very basic little wings on the side there. You see that tool works really nicely. Then on the other one, make sure that you flip on the other side, make sure that you flip it so that your wings are going in the same direction on both sides. Now what I like to do when I'm making these, I like to make all the bodies, and I mark the one side of the body, and then I go back and I'll mark the other one so it doesn't get too soft and too squishy. So once you do that, I just like to take a little bit, pinch the bottom. That way we can just going to bring that tail up a tiny bit. Again, this is very basic. We're not going to put any extra detail in at this point. Here's the head. It's my favorite part. This little bit is for the lips. Now what I do for the lips, I just manipulate this, and I think it's kind of funny to make the lips kind of big. I just squish the orange, and then I simply fold it over. You can see they already look like lips. And then what I want to do is I just kind of bring that back a little bit so that it's more tapered. You can open these up. That gives a little bit more action. And then we put those aside, and I need to work on the head. Now when I do the head, I want to make sure that I'm putting the eyeballs in with, again, a skewer, and then I need to cut my royal icing bag. Now the royal icing, it's really important that on the royal icing that we have royal icing that is nice and fluid. And what I mean by that is you can see when I pipe this, see how nicely that is going to give me a very nice rounded effect, much like an eyeball. If the royal icing is too thick, you simply have to thin it out with a little bit of egg white. So a little bit of royal icing. And then again, I would let that dry so you could do all of the heads. Now for the sake of the video, I'm going to go back, and now I'm going to put the head onto my duck. And I'll put the black on last. So to stick these, I'm going to just stick it now. It's still pretty moist. If your items are dry, you can stick them with royal icing, a little dab of royal icing here, or you could also use your pasteurized egg white. So we put the little head on. Then I go back, and I'm going to put, see if this black is good. The black is really hard to work with. Sometimes it pulls. You can see I'm having that problem now. A little bit. So if that happens, you just want to take a little bit of a skewer again and try to work that around. You shouldn't have that problem because you're going to let the eyeball dry. Remember, you're going to let that white dry, so you won't be having this problem, but there we go. Here's one that's finished. And this looks funny. And then again, what you can do is, don't be afraid to play with this a little bit, make it look a little bit more realistic. You might have to push the head up a little. You could put a little not a bow tie, a little hair barrette or what have you. Basic marzipan ducks. Good luck.